go ahead and jump in. We have something kind of a little bit different than what I usually do today. I was feeling kind of inspired and wanted to try something new. So a lot of what I'm going to be doing today will be an experiment. So join me for an experiment. We will see how it all goes. I am going to decorate a little witch hat today. I just had this in my Crafty stash. To be honest with you, I had it thrown in with my Halloween decorations, and I have not one, but 3 of them, which worked out good because what we're doing today, I needed some of the stuff to dry ahead of time, so it made it possible for me to be able to show you step by step what we're doing. So we are going to start out with our little hat, and we are going to use some finishing glaze on this. So Brutus Monroe carries 2 different kinds of finishing glaze. One of them has a matte finish. One of them has a gloss finish. The ones that I have already prepared, I used the matte because I am going to paint over it, but I'm using it as an adhesive and a sealer together. So bear with me and we will check it all out. So we're just going to go ahead and open that up. You can see I've used quite a bit already because you'll see why. So this part is going to be an experiment. Let me show you this one before I get started. So I already have placed, this is just tissue paper. And honestly, the one that I grabbed, I'll show it to you. This is just like used gift wrap tissue that was stuffed in my drawer that is pretty ugly, but was great for what we were using it for, because we just want to add some texture to this hat. But today I received my Brutus Monroe order, and I thought, I bet you could just use the paper that comes as your packing material. So we're going to try that out. And like I said, I haven't tried this yet, but I don't know why it wouldn't work. So we're just going to experiment and try it out. We have a backup if there is an issue. So I'm just going to start off, nothing special. I just ripped off the edge. And I'm just going to get a paintbrush and just apply a pretty generous amount. I think especially with this, because it's not so lightweight, I probably need a little heavier coat than I did on the tissue paper. And I'm going to work my way around the rim first, and then we'll work our way up to the tip. And you can tear shorter strips, which I think we may do. It's a little bit easier to manage if you do. And where this one is a little bit wider, I think we will go up a little bit, up the comb part of the hat, just so that if we need to, we have something to stick to. Sorry, I just jumped right in. I have hardly said anything to anybody. What was that, Darren?
Jackie said hi.
Hi, Jackie. And thank you, Darren, for moderating again, as always. Okay, that is a pretty big coat. I think we should be just fine. And for me, I found it easier to just kind of use the edge that's straight, but it doesn't matter. I really don't think it makes a difference. But just because I'm a little bit crazy, I'm going to start off with that edge and just kind of work my way around. And you're going to have lots of wrinkles, and that is good. You want lots of wrinkles. We want lots of texture. I have to say, this project made me think of Heather because this is more her field house, but I was really excited to try it. So hopefully I can do her proud. All right. So we are going to just kind of squish that on, and I'm going to work my way up the cone a little bit. I probably would have an easier time if I had torn this a little bit more narrow. So keep that in mind, especially for this piece. Hi. Who did?
Candy.
Hi, Candy. But I'm going to try another experiment while we're at it. So you guys just get to be part of my craft lab today. All right, so just getting a lot more of our glaze on there, so it's nice and sticky for us. So I'm going to work that last little piece on. And what I'm wondering and hoping, I kind of want the hat part, well, the whole thing is the hat, right? The cone part. Who said that? Candy. Oh, Candy, you're so sweet. Thank you for your confidence. Hopefully we all still feel that way at the end of this project, because like I said, this is experimental. But who better to experiment with than my crafty friends, right? Okay, so I'm going to work that around that edge. And, oh, I'll just rip that just like that. And you know what? There's a little piece that I've missed, and I'm pointing it out just because if I know that I can be a little bit worried about things like that. It's not going to matter. That's one of the fun things about mixed media. It's very forgiving most of the time. It's good to have like a place to let loose.
Danny said I'm Halloween lover for a daughter. She would celebrate every day.
Oh, that is awesome. Darren really loves Halloween too. I love Halloween, but my Halloween love and his Halloween love are different. I'm all about the pumpkins and scarecrows and cute little doodahs, you know. He enjoys the scary stuff more than I do. I guess I just I think about the little trick-or-treaters, and most of the time they're little kids that come. So I would hate to scare them. I want them to not be scared to come to my house. Okay, so now I'm just squishing it in. Now, if you are braver than me, you could try folding it in more to make creases that look more like natural folds would maybe be. I'm not feeling that brave. Not right now. Maybe as I add the next layer, but I don't think this one's going to be quite right for that. I don't think it'll lay down the way I want it to. So I'm just gonna add some more of our glaze so that we can get our hat fully covered. So this will seal this, which is good. And we will be using fluid acrylic, which is available in our ATC kits. And it's a little bit, I don't think it's quite as opaque as paint is. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your tissue. I don't think it matters too much because I think you like to have some more texture, and I think it's okay if it shows through. Like our red will probably show through a little bit, but if you don't want a certain color, you just keep that in mind. Like I said, I really don't think there's many colors that would even really matter. I think most of them would look good. I say roll with it and see what you come up with. Okay, we need another piece of paper. So I'm just unceremoniously going to add another layer. And that bottom part is a little thick, so I don't want to go too thick or too close to the bottom, if that makes sense. I want to kind of work my way up. Depends, you know, depends on your personal preference. If it's sticking okay and it's laying down okay and you like it, that right there is what matters, my friends. Okay, so I'm going to add some more because it will help it lay down a little bit. You want to make sure it's nice and tight to the layer beneath it. Okay. So we're going to add our last little bit. I think we want to scrunch it up a little bit more. And maybe do one more going the other way.
Danny said you're a little bit low on the camera.
Oh, sorry. The hat kind of moved on me while I was gluing away. I'll make sure I stay up there a little higher. Sorry about that. All right. So the good news is, if you have anything that's a little bit weird, a lot of it will be camouflaged anyway with your paint, or your fluid acrylic, I should say. You could just use acrylic paint if you wanted. I actually really liked the way that the fluid acrylic went on. It just glides easier. So when I moved and I was putting things away, you have to keep in mind I was moving from Arizona to Texas, and it took longer. There were some complications, and the whole thing was just kind of crazy anyway. But it took all of our stuff was on the moving truck for, gosh, I would say, was it what, a week, Darren?
Yeah, an extra week.
An extra week, so over a week. And so I also have had some paints, like some of them were my mom's, and she's been gone for a decade, a little bit more than a decade. So it was time to clear out my acrylic paint anyway. And I was thinking to myself, you know, there's a lot of these that I barely used. So that's another thing I like about these fluid acrylics. Sorry, that one I got stuff on, but is I like the size because they stay nice, and you know, you can just grab another one. But right now, like I said, they are only available through the ATC kit.
June said, I guess I can't leave the parking lot at work since I'm catching you live. I like what I'm seeing.
Who said that?
June.
June, you're so cute. I'm glad you're joining us. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. You can kind of see the difference. I think you get more pronounced wrinkles and more texture when you use the paper versus the tissue. I like them both. If you like one more than the other, here's your chance to see the difference. And it shouldn't take too long to dry. The one that you're looking at right now, I did earlier today, and it's dry. So it might be a little tiny bit damp right here because I reapplied, I think, a little bit. But nothing too serious. I feel okay about painting on it right now. So we're just going to take some of that fluid acrylic I was telling you about, and we are going to give this a little coat of paint. I'm just going to do it really quickly. You could just use your glass mat or your media mat and then just dip in that. But I am just wanting to get it done quick, so I just went for it. Direct to project. So if you want to get in those little grooves, if you don't want so much of the red to show, which I kind of like. I like that it gives it that much more depth. But if you're not liking that, just pad your brush on there a little bit. Just tap it. My dog is snoring, so if you hear any crazy noises, my dog's dog bed is right by my table. And he is my little crafting buddy. Both of them are. My other one, so I took over the master bedroom for the studio in this house. And so it has a bathroom, which is really nice, especially when you're crafting. You have whatever you need to wash out. And can I be honest, girls? I love having my own girl bathroom. It's the best. It's one of my favorite things about having this house. Anyway, because I have 3 boys here. It's me and 3 boys, so it's nice to have a little space of my own. Anyway, I have a furry bath mat. I went all out on the girl stuff. It's definitely a girly situation. And my dog loves that little bath mat. He thinks it's his bed.
Especially the only girl.
Yes, Candy.
That's awesome.
Who did?
Jackie.
Jackie. It is. I'm not gonna lie, but it is awesome. My boys call it the princess bathroom. Okay. So we're just going to, see, this is where it's nice that it just kind of drips. And you could do as many layers of this as you want. You can get the opacity that you want. That's a word, right?
Says hi.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who you said.
Joan.
Joan, hello. Thank you for joining us today. How are things in your neck of the woods? So it is really fun to have the weather start to change. Get a little cooler, I have to say, here in Texas. And you will use quite a bit of your fluid acrylic.
Andy said, may your seat would always be down in the princess bathroom.
Candy, that is the nicest thing you could ever wish me. Thank you. Candy wished me that the seat would always be down in my princess bathroom. I love that. I almost think I need a sign in there. Yes, for sure.
Kelly asks, is witch hat in the clearance section?
I have to tell you, oops. Okay, this is one thing you do have to watch for. My fingers stuck to that because I wasn't paying attention, but the nice thing is I think it'll just lay down with the acrylic. So I thought that there were some, I think there have been in the past, but these I just had in my craft stash. So I would check it out to be sure, but I don't have, honestly, the answer to that. I can't give you an accurate answer. Darren did look earlier, but he couldn't find it in his search. So tried, you know, he didn't try for super long because he was doing a bunch of other things. So, you know, if you try several keywords, you may find the magic combination. But where he was doing so many others, he moved on. He gave it a good effort, though. I didn't mean to imply anything otherwise, Darren. I don't want to be in the doghouse, right?
Never.
Okay, so you get the idea. I do, you know, it's the magic of television here today. I do have one that's already painted. So after this dries, I would go ahead and paint. I went ahead and painted the inner rim on the other one because if you want it up on anything or whatever, it just leaves you open. So depending on how much effort you like to put into it, I say for as short amount of time as it takes to do it, go for it.
Jackie asked if that hat is on metal or hardboard.
This is like a chipboard.
It sounds like it's on metal with the glass mat.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to move this guy out of my way. Okay, voila, voila. So you can see it's dry, but you can still see a little bit of the red tissue paper that I have on there. And I think that's just fine. I kind of like the highlights.
Gina
And
said hello.
hi, Gina.
What wonderful Halloween goodness is being on here.
Oh, Gina, we're glad you joined us. We will take you whenever you can get here. And I will just say really quickly, I didn't do like this amazing job on the inside, but I just wanted it to be dark, so I didn't call attention to it either. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's get to the fun stuff. And I have to tell you that, like I said, this is all experimental, and this from here on out, it's just gonna be whatever it is. Okay, so I think some fun things you could do that we can play with is, I was thinking, I have some Lunar paste that I haven't tried out yet. And I thought, I wonder how that would look if we just added a little tiny bit. So I'm going to see what that does. And I haven't even tried this stuff yet. So if something goes horribly wrong, that is my disclaimer. I have no idea. I'm not even sure the best tool. I haven't looked into it enough to know the best tool, but I'm going to try this little brush. And I really want a light coat. I'm just trying to get into maybe some of those little crevices. I'm just going to put a little bit on and then rub it around. So let's see what this does. Let's just use our finger. So I think my finger is going to be a good way to get that spread out. It's thicker than I thought. It doesn't spread as fast as I thought on this surface. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of squish it around the brush a little bit more, because that would, yeah, that's probably going to be a little bit better. And it's okay. I just want a little bit of shimmer. I actually have way more on there than I intended, but you know. This is Lunar paste. You are seeing me try it for the first time. And I know that I saw that Christopher had told Simon that he just made a big order, so I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know for a fact, people, so don't hold me to it, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is on there somewhere. So I'm just going to spread it out a little bit so it's not quite so concentrated. And like I said, I probably should have done a little more research on that before I tried it out, but I just was anxious. I wanted to see what it did. I like what it's doing though. I like how it's bringing out all of that texture. So I was going to go with the less is more, but I'm kind of liking it. I think I'm going to actually go with the more is more. I like what it does along the... It doesn't glow, but it does shine. It's really pretty. Can you see that really pretty shimmer it has to it? It's got a metallic feel to it. And it's definitely opaque, which is fun. So I'm going to just do a little bit more around the rim. And then we'll move on to the... What is this part of the hat called? I feel like there's probably a technical term. Right now I'm just calling it a cone, but I'm sure that hats have a... There's probably the anatomy of a hat. Okay, almost got this. Yeah, I'm digging that. I am digging that. What do you guys think? I want to see if I can get that a little spread out there. Yeah, that will work for me. Now, I'm just going to spread that around again so that I can get some more of that onto.
Jackie said it's really cool.
Thanks, Jackie. This is really cool stuff. I like it. I'm sure it's really cool with stencils and stuff. So yeah, I really like the way that it brings out all that texture. And you could go heavy or really, really light. If I didn't put so much pressure on this, it would just give me a little bit of a sheen. But I'm definitely pushing a little bit. I'm pushing as hard as I think I can without tearing any layers of the tissue. But I like that a lot. Look how cool.
Johnson looks fantastic.
Oh, thanks, Michelle. All right. Oh, I see one spot. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of my squeaky clean. This is the blue slush. I got this on the on that killer sale they had last week. Did you guys get any of that going on?
God says loving this. God says love this.
And it cleans up pretty good off of the glass mat with just the squeaky clean. So, yay. I love that. Okay. Well, I think we should go on to the next part. I did bring out these oil flakes. I thought they might be kind of fun. But I don't know if I want to... I don't know. If I do, I'm going to go kind of sparingly because I really do like these. What do you guys think? Maybe we can, I don't know. I don't know if I need them. Maybe we'll save those for another day. These are pretty cool though. I do want to use these pretty soon. I'm itching to find a way to use these. These would be great used with any kind of adhesive. You can use them. I want to try them with pixie spray. I want to try them with all kinds of stuff. But like I said, that will be another live. I can't do it all at once, even though my brain wants me to try. Okay, so I'm kind of messing with the doilies. You know how much I love these, and I think they would be cute on the hat. There's this one that's kind of a gray. I can't remember. Is it smoke?
Said hello. What did she miss?
Who said that?
Theresa.
Theresa, we just created this hat. We went from just a cardboard hat to adding some texture. So now we're just going to decorate our hat. I'm liking the purple, but we've got a lot of purple going on here. So I'm thinking maybe let's go with this. So, like I said, this is kind of an experiment, so I got to see what the best way to attach this is. And I'm kind of leaning towards the foam dots. I hope this works. Bear with me, guys. Let me put that down low enough that it doesn't show through the...
Michelle asked, where are you displaying this?
You know, I haven't really decided, either in my entertainment center or I still have a piece of furniture I need to bring in from the garage to go by my front door. We are almost settled. We just have those last few bits, you know, those last few boxes. We are waiting on some bookcases, and that is so annoying because those are the most annoying boxes, I think. Okay, so I gotta start a little lower. Okay, one thing I will say that I probably should have done is and I did this last time too. These dots come in white, but they also come in black. So this is light enough that at least it'll kind of go with this, but if you wanted it to blend more with your hat itself, then the black would be a better route to take on that. And hopefully that lays down enough. So I just cut, so I've got this burlap ribbon, and I got this one, I cut a strip off of it. You can see how white it was. This one is from an ATC kit, and I just pulled it out of my stash. I'm telling you, those ATC kits, they come loaded with goodies. I love them. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to get this part kind of in there. So here's the doily. That's how it's looking. And this part's going to be a little bit tricky to get it to lay flat. So we got to see. We're going to cover it up with a bunch of stuff, so it should be okay. But, you know, it's always awkward to get those things to lay on these. Do we need that? Let's see what we think. I kind of don't like it. Let's not use that. It would be great on a different, if I was going a different direction with that. I even have this moss that would be fun, which I may still add some touches here and there, but I'm thinking ribbon might be a better route for this one. And I've got this ribbon handy, thankfully, and it might be easier to get it to stay where we want it to stay. Let's try it. Maybe, maybe not. I've got a whole bunch of it. This is all came in a cute doodle bag.
You put a foam dot on each side?
I probably could right here. I just didn't want it to show through this, but I think with the stuff that I put on it, it'll be okay. I'm thinking, I'm kind of liking this black. Let's see how that looks. Let's see. That, I don't think it's thick enough to hold it down. We may have to stick with this one. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Let's try one more, and then I'll make my decision. me put that down. I might be easier to get it to tie if I do get it down there. All right, Jackie. Was it Jackie that suggested that?
Yes.
Jackie, I think you are a wise person. I think we're going to do that. I may not even put a band on it. But let's look and see how it looks without one first. So, it's not really tying it in too much deeper because of the edges, and I think that's okay. I am going to see if I think... I still am liking the idea of having a band. So we're just going to quickly get a band on there. And I am just going to... I'm crossing my fingers that I can just use the tape for that. Okay, so I'm going to start it at the front because that's going to be covered up. So where it may not meet evenly, it gives me a little bit more forgiveness. Heaven knows I am a fan of anything that can do that. And I think it'll be okay if it's not exactly flat. Can you guys hear my dog? He's pretty loud.
Can't hear him.
You can't hear him, okay. He stopped when I said that. I think I made him self-conscious. Sorry, buddy. Okay. Well, I think that'll be good enough. And we are going to place a bunch of stuff right there. So you can see it doesn't even meet, and that's okay. And it's not even going to go completely flat flush against the hat, and that's okay too. We just, there we go. That's a little bit better though. Well, I like it a little bit lower. Sorry, I try not to fuss too much when I'm live, but I still, there are some things that will just drive me crazy. What was that?
Jackie said, easy tear on ribbon is a fabulous idea.
Yes, yes, that easy tear stuff. Oh, if you haven't tried it, you have got to try it because it is awesome. Okay, if you have been watching me for very long at all, you may know that one of my very favorite products that we sell are these 5 little dies. I use these so much. I also use these little dies. These are the flower builder. These are the fall leaf dies. And we are also going to use this set. This is called Flowered Heart. And look at all of these pieces. This is a huge set, I think, for the, especially for the price point. But this is really, really versatile. I think you could use this all year long. But I think these kind of do remind me more of the fall flowers. So we're going to use those. We're going to use mostly this one. And I think we may use some of the flower builders to add another layer. So bear with me. I usually try not to do a lot of die cutting while I'm live. Just because I have to do it off camera. But I'm thinking that they would be really cute inside. So we may just have to do it. So I'm going to, again, go with the foam. I kind of like using that when I'm doing anything dimensional. Just helps add that much more dimension. And honestly, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking if you don't want to wrestle with the hat band, I think this is a great alternative. You could just put that all the way around. And I'm going to tuck some in here and there, but I'm thinking that might have been a better route. We'll see how this whole thing ends up, right? And I'm just kind of messing right now. We'll see how this works. I'm going to just add this one to the back. Maybe work our way around a little bit. I also have, so this is our Glitterstock, and this is amazing. It doesn't shed. And then we've got, this is one of my favorite things too. This is the Elegant Essentials. This is Penny. Just kind of deciding where I want that and if I want that. Well, we're definitely going to need to put a few things on that other side. I think maybe we'll do something more like that. And, you know, I'm just going to tell you right now that after this is over, I may even fuss with it further. So if you see me post the pictures online and it looks a little different, yeah, don't be surprised. Another thing you can use, like if you don't want to use the moss, Brutus Monroe carries fabulous fibers. And hey, Darren, did you notice what colors are available in that?
Peacock and Frost.
So we've got, like, this one I think is called Halo.
Frost and Halo.
Frost and Halo. And so that one's great. Goes with everything. And then I think this might be the Peacock. I'm not sure. I got this one probably in an ATC kit. But that would look kind of cool with this because it'll just kind of blend in with what we're doing. Just give it a little bit of shine without still in the show. You know what I'm saying? And then we've got these little dies. So you've got 5 dies here. And this little leaf even is just useful. So we may add some of that on there as well. What was that? Couldn't see the leaf or the
leaf.
Can you see now? I was pointing this one and this one out too. Sorry, it's a little awkward because this isn't flat. Okay, so I'm going to hurry and cut a couple of little pieces to layer with. Okay, so we've got this little guy. And we've got this little guy. I think this is my favorite one because you can get a lot of dimension out of these little petals because they plop right up.
Jackie says she also uses the same tiny pieces to use.
She uses what?
She saves the tiny pieces to use as well.
I know, right? Why not? Okay, I'm kind of liking that. What do you guys think? Kind of makes that whole flower just jump out. So I'm going to grab some glue dots really quick. And we will add a little layer here. And you want your dies to look dynamic. You don't want them to just be flat. So even on your leaves, these are really cool. I love the way that they're already embossed. And you can use that to your advantage to get that movement in them. Bend them up a little bit. You don't want them to just be flat.
You're off camera, sweetheart.
I'm back. Thanks, honey. Okay. So, we've got that going on. I kind of think all of our leaves are going the same way. I want a little bit more variety going on. So we're going to move this one so it's going down. Okay. We will build off of that. Probably can't reposition too many times on that felt, but it actually is nice a little bit because these little tabs are amazing, but they do stick really, really well, which is a good thing, but a tricky thing. So no, you might want to know what you're doing before you stick it down.
Too cute.
Who said that?
Tisha.
Oh, Tisha, thank you. Okay, so now let's add this guy and we'll start building it up a little bit. Trying to be patient with the tabs. I think I'll put that guy up a little higher. So this is where we're at so far. And then I kind of think we might want one of these in this color. Okay, so this guy,
I like the purple Glitterstock.
I do too. I really like it. It's a pretty color. I might rearrange things a little bit. You knew that had to happen, right? Maybe we'll just add. I don't want it to go too much further to the side. I think we're going to move this flower for a second. Since we still can. Maybe. As I say that. Let's see if we can get this guy over here a little bit more. So I'm just going to get my little foam. And sometimes I just cut mine in half. See if I can get it apart. Yep, okay. I really don't need a lot, just enough to get it on the base. And I want to put that one like that. Maybe we'll do, I feel like we're getting too many leaves now. I think the little one was getting lost anyway. So, we'll do this for now. Let's get some more flowers on there. Okay, let's add a little foam to that. I have to be honest, I think it's easier to take the tab off before I apply it to my paper.
My anniversary is Halloween, so we have a big neighborhood party every year.
Gina said that?
Yes.
Gina, that's a fun day to have your anniversary.
This year we're all characters from Scooby-Doo.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. Ooh, I might like that. We'll see. Yeah, Darren and I were looking at the calendar and found out our anniversary is on Thanksgiving this year, which happens every so often. I'm liking sticking with the one.
Kelly said she's attending the party.
Well, that sounds like lots of fun. I wish I could go. Okay, I'm liking that. I do think we want to add a little bit of, I think we're going to add a little bit of this, just to give it a little bit, to tie it into the hat a little bit more. Or do we want the white? Hang on, just need to look that over. That might tie in a little.
I go with Peacock.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I need Peacock.
We're going to go with your idea today. Don't get used to it. Anyway, so he finally started school this week. He was fine. He was thrilled. We were ready for him to go back to school, but he was like, yeah, break. But he loves it. I asked him how his first day was, and he said he loved it. I asked him what class was his favorite, and he said all of them. And I was like, okay, well, that's good. Hopefully that lasts for a little bit.
Kelly asked what's in the jar.
In the jar? Oh, in this jar? This is the Fabulous Fibers. This is just what I kind of keep my stuff in when I, after it's open and I don't have a lot of it left. And this I think came in a kit, so I just tucked it in there. So I pulled a little hard on my ribbon, so my ribbon's a little bit wonky, but no one's gonna notice. Know what I mean? So let's actually just put a little bit of our fluff there, and then nobody will know. Just you guys. And I'm gonna see if I've got my black. Yep, I've got my black. See the black ones? That'll be perfect. Call even less attention to it. And maybe cover up a little bit of the white that I have showing from my other one. So Gina actually got me using this. I hadn't really tried it much before. And Gina is kind of masterful in it. I don't know that I've got the magic down as much as you do, Gina, but I'm going to give it a whirl. So then I think I'll use a white one on this one because I'm going to have it on that.
Ian says another one of my
Doily.
sessions.
Yes, I know. We get a bunch of them, don't we? That's what happens.
Just so you know, Robin said, great idea, Darren. I think things with Peacock will be better also.
That is awesome, Darren. Robin, you just made Darren's whole day. Okay, I'm liking that. I am liking that. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I like that.
Eva says my trick is to pinch it and hit it with the heat gun. It melts it into a hard clump and use it glue with the wedge behind it.
Just the part that you pinch. That makes sense. I'm just using such a little bit. I think it's gonna be okay. I'm just going to tack that one down. I should have taken the tab off first for me.
That is gorgeous.
It's really fun. And imagine all the different things you can do with this. If you happen to get in on that, it was a couple months ago, but I know Brutus Monroe had mystery boxes that had flowers in them. And you could use those. You could do, in fact, I considered it, but I love these dies so much. I wanted to show you the dies. And I felt like a lot of you probably even have the dies.
Donna said, love this.
Super easy. And you know, I'm thinking I might just finish off the other two that I started and just have a little set of hats. It might be kind of cute. All right. I think that's pretty well done. I just did a hint just to kind of add. Do you think it needs any more, or do you think we... Let's see. I'm trying to decide. If I put more, I'm going to put it in the middle. But I kind of like it kind of just...
Jackie says super cute.
Thanks, Jackie. Yeah, okay, I think that's good. Gives it just a little bit of mystery, doesn't it? Super fun. So I think I might just finish out my others and have a little set of them to sit on that little... I think I'm going to put my cedar chest next to my front door, and that should work out pretty good. You don't really see the band, and for as much trouble as it was to put on there, I don't really know that you need it. You could put one on if you want. You probably have a better method than I do, but if I had it to do again, I don't know if I would even bother with it. Mostly what you're going to see is that front part. All right, I'll show you front view. Super fun, super easy, and just honestly, I mean, for what it was, the drying time really doesn't take that long, and even just applying all that paper really it really didn't take too long. So I had not done it before, tried it today, and it wasn't too bad. I think any one of you could do it. So I hope that you will do something crafty, and so maybe something you haven't tried before. Try something kind of out of your comfort zone this weekend, and hopefully you get some time this weekend to do some crafting. And thank you again, as always, for joining me, and I will see you again next Wednesday. Bye.